Let me talk to you a few moments about your work in teams. In each of your team classrooms on the WIKI site. Here's the purpose. There are two classical ways to learn politics. One, you reflect on political situations, and you're going to be doing that. What happened? What do you think caused that? What was going on underneath? What lesson can you learn from that? And how will you apply that? You're going to write, each person individually is going to write each week one political analysis of one situation, and each week you choose a different situation. You'll find it easier to choose situations that are closer to home because you have more of the information you need. So something out of your church or out of your work environment will be much easier to deal with than something that's broader and more difficult, where much of the most significant information, at least politically, is not available. But you may choose any kind of incident that you want that is of a political nature. You're going to analyze it. So each of you will be doing 3 of those over a 3-week process. And you'll be putting them on your wiki. Now, that's the second part. Because not only is reflection the normal way to learn politics, the classic way, the second way is conversation. It is talking to others. It is exchanging with others. It is trying to sharpen each other's ideas. And that's what you do on the wiki. And so you will look at each other's analyses. And you will say, but have you thought about this? Or could this also have been going on in the background? Is there a piece of this I'm missing? Because it seems like something's going on, but I don't know what it is. Have you thought that you might apply this in another way, in addition to what you have written? And that conversation, along with that reflective analysis, comprises the 2 classic ways to learn politics. Now, what will you come up with? You're going to find many of the lessons that you are reading about in the lecture and in the textbooks come to life in these analyses. So it will be quite natural for you to refer to your textbooks or to the lecture and say, I'm seeing this at work in that situation. Each one of these analyses, as you go through week 1 and week 2 and week 3 of the process of doing this, the 3 weeks where you do analyses, each one of them will bring to the surface some piece of political wisdom. This is what I learned from the analysis, and this is what we learned from the conversation. It will come to the surface. And so by the time we reach the end of our course, you're going to discover that together as a team, you've probably come up with 12 to 15 pieces of political wisdom. You can probably put them together in simple sentences or paragraphs, but they are your discoveries. It's what you have come up with. And I want you and encourage you then in that week 5 of the course to find a way to gather that information and to present it on your own summation wiki classroom, so that the others in the course can then go on in the last week and look at it and learn from it. And when we get done, we're just going to have a lot of wisdom that has been collected. Now, let me say it again, very clear. Each individual in weeks 2, 3, and 4 will present each week their own analysis of a political situation by answering the 4 questions which you have in your assignment. You will find that what you learn is often something you've read about in one of the texts or the lectures, but you have come to it personally by looking at that situation. At the same time you're doing this, as a team, You're going to help each other sharpen your reflections. Could you have learned something else? Is there more going on? Are there other ways to apply this as you read each other's analysis? So reflection, conversation. At the end of the term, week 5, you're going to pull together the essence, all the key pieces of learning that you have come to, the political wisdom that you as a team have gleaned from bringing your individual analyses and working on them together. And then you're going to present that to us in such a way that in week 6, all cohort members will be able to go on to the sites and see what you have accomplished. This is the way across the centuries that people have learned politics. You simply can't read it in a book and say, I've got it. Leadership, like swimming, cannot be learned in a library. You got to get in the lake. You've got to get into it in a situation where you're somewhat invested and begin to analyze and converse and draw out the political wisdom. That's the purpose.